what's the point of waking up Monday morning going, oh my God, I hope there's no equipment problem. I hope there's no staff problem. I hope there's no patient. Just assume that one of them is going to be happening, not like a glass half full way, just like this is always happening. So when you're like, cool, it's just, this is life. This is life. This is the way an office runs. What? My compressor just broke. I'm not going to freak out about it because it's like, yeah, okay, well, we expected that to happen.
Mediocre dentist, the mediocre dentist. Cause sometimes you just feel mediocre. The mediocre dentist, the mediocre dentist. I am mediocre, you are mediocre, and that's not that bad.
Hello, podcast listeners. Welcome back to another edition of the Mediocre Podcast. I am Dr. David Galler.
And I am Dr. Andrew Dernisky.
And we are here back once again, week number 5, I think, and it's been good. Are you having fun?
Well, I'm having a lot of fun, more fun than expected.
Okay, we have way more followers and listeners than I ever thought was possible.
By a landslide.
This was all supposed to be just a giant tax deduction.
Now it's turning into something.
Now it's actually turning it. We actually got a call from a sponsor.
We did?
Well, not a call. We got a doctor who recommended a sponsor for us.
Oh, okay. That's what I was supposed to do.
Online therapy session.
Okay.
No, for real.
Oh, wow.
All right. Okay. Anyway, tonight's episode. Well, last week. We're here. This is an unplanned episode because of what happened last week.
Okay.
Last week episode, we talked about the triple threat. We had Kylie in studio. Last week we said that at one point of your career, job, life, at any one point, every dentist listening to this podcast can close their eyes right now and say, there's a really, really angry patient that's weighing on my mind, or all the equipment has gone to hell and there is something not working in the office, or some staff member just gave notice / we're down a person / we're having a problem. Any one of those is going on at every single moment. There's no one day where all 3 of those don't exist.
No.
Just in the last week. So we filmed this on a Saturday night with Kylie here.
Yes.
We aired it on a Sunday. And then what happened to you on, I think, Tuesday?
Oh, it was Monday morning.
What happened?
I walk into the office. My assistant and I were happy to see each other. I was off the week before.
There were no patients that were angry and all staff showed up. But you always know it's a triple threat.
Something's going to go down. So how it went down is literally every single thing that we touched broke. Like, you could just do a dusting. You know that like little buzzer thing to like call somebody in your practice? We barely even use it. We touched that, broken. The entire thing like literally jumped out of the wall at us. I'm like opening up a drawer, the entire thing busted out. It was almost so bad that we were laughing hysterically.
And the team didn't even know about the episode.
They had no idea. But we tempted the dental equipment gods, and they karmically handed us our
This absolutely happened. This podcast is ruining Andrea's office.
Okay,
the point of the story was, one day after tempting the fates and Andrea going, I don't even think I have any of the triple threat going on, she comes back to work and everything's not working.
To be fair, I did not say that, but I was not expecting to arrive Monday morning and for literally every single thing that I touched or Kira touched literally broke on the spot without fail.
So that was in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Then we fixed all the things that were wrong. Everything got fixed. The drawers got fixed. The buzzer got fixed.
Do you want to know a true story? The drawer is not fixed, and we now just have like a surgical, like one of those that you wrap like things in. We just have that up, covering the area. So
like a construction site?
It's like a construction site. Because we're going to be moving into a new practice at some point in the not too distant future.
So we just jimmied it for the moment.
We jimmied it.
That went well.
Yes.
We spent the week in Vancouver this past week. Then Thursday night, we did our Friday morning this week, we did our norm, fly to Vegas for the weekend so we could tape and be here in Las Vegas. And in the airport on Friday morning, you shared 2 things with me. Can you share with our audience?
What did I share with you? I already forget.
We had such a meaningful conversation about the stress that you're under.
I literally have zero recollection. I'm blanking out.
We were eating, one of us was eating breakfast.
Yeah. Okay, I remember.
You were
Okay, we're
eating
in the-
breakfast and I was drinking water. It was
Yes.
6 a.m. in the morning in the airport.
Oh, see, I blocked that out because I was so angry at you, and it was Valentine's Day, and you made us wake up an hour early because you didn't actually know when our flight left. So I probably forgot everything intentionally because I also don't want to remember that I was mad at you.
Okay, I feel like we're digressing from the topic. You were the equipment was fixed, but then by Friday, just 4 days later, we had new problems in your life in the office.
Oh, are you talking about my office managers?
No.
Oh, it's because they simultaneously were in car accident, or like one was in a car accident. Okay, I only remember that because that's emotionally charged, and I feel very bad for the circumstances.
Okay.
Can you just
So on
please tell
Monday,
them what happened?
What is happening to you?
I don't know. Please tell me
Okay.
what.
On Monday, the equipment went to hell.
Okay, I'm gonna write this down so I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tuesday, they spent
down.
fixing the equipment.
Yeah.
Wednesday,
Yeah.
I thought nothing happened.
Uh-huh.
Thursday, the office manager got into a car accident. Kylie, who was here last week,
Yes.
her car was totaled.
Yes.
No car. She has to commute 45 minutes to work.
Yes.
Friday morning, staffing problem. One of the triple threats. Friday morning, your other office manager,
Total freak. Oh yeah, total freak incidents. Water
her
main
car is under
bursts.
12 feet of water.
water.
Two office managers, no cars, staffing problem for you. Thursday, Friday, correct?
Okay.
Okay, so let's review. Monday, equipment problem.
I'm
Thursday, Friday, staff problem.
Yes.
What happened Tuesday, Wednesday that really shook you to your core that then we spoke about in the airport on Friday? And you're like, babe, let me tell you about two problems I have. One is a patient that we started 18 months ago.
Bless my husband for having such an impeccable memory that he can recall every conversation that we've ever had, including the ones that I've intentionally erased from my memory because they are so triggering and so traumatizing. But yes, I do recall on Tuesday and Thursday, I think I had a patient each day. One, it was just like that email. I think we talked about that with Kylie. And it's been like over the past 18 months, just emails back and forth. And they're like passive aggressive. They don't have great factual recollection and totally traumatizing to me. It totally zaps every little piece
It's
of my
stressful.
energy.
You have an angry patient on your hands at the moment.
Yeah, and a long-standing patient, and I take that very seriously. I don't want people to be unhappy, and I fancy myself someone who is quite fair.
Check.
So check. Another one, coming in for bonding, something that I do a ton of, and comes in. I always say, let's get through all the issues beforehand. When we come in that day, I just want to be focusing on executing a good product and delivering that, and I take that very seriously. This lady comes in, and for half an hour of a long appointment, she wants to tell me how to do my job. And
it's stressful.
it's super stressful. Like, it might be some good content, but that's not the day.
Yeah, so
That's not the time.
in 1 week, since we filmed the triple threat, you had equipment problems.
Yes.
You have two patients that are
On my mind.
on your mind, ruminating.
They were out of it.
That
You brought them
on
back.
a Friday
Yeah.
morning, on our way to Las Vegas for a nice weekend in Las Vegas, you decided to unload on me at breakfast about all the stress that you're under, and two of our office managers have no cars to get to work this week.
Next week, yeah.
So this week's episode is called The Triple Threat Solution. All right, we've been talking all the time about how bad things are.
Yeah.
And just in this past week, we've had 3 problems that happened in your office, and now we're on the Triple Threat Solution.
Let's do it.
All right. You know me, one of my favorite movies, something I'm really hooked on, I like army movies. I like war movies. I like army movies. I mean, Band of Brothers, even though it wasn't a movie, it was a series. I loved it. Going back like World War II movies.
Love them all.
Oh
Except that
my
one.
God.
We went to one in a movie theater once.
We
We
went
walked
to
out.
one.
It's the only time in my
that was
life.
the World War I movie. It was a little weird, but
That was
I'm
good.
still
Yeah.
like just seeing coming attraction. I'm going any war movie. I'm going to, from like Afghanistan, the ones on like Netflix and stuff, Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
All the way back to like D-Day, Normandy, Vietnam Apocalypse Now. I am hooked on those movies.
Yeah.
And even the Navy SEAL kind of stuff, anything that has to do with that action, just living out some life that I don't have.
Okay.
In a lot of those movies, especially in those like World War II movies,
Yeah.
especially in those Band of Brothers, if you watch that show, you'll see like there were a large amount of people who made it through the whole thing. Like
Yes.
there were a large
Yeah.
amount of brothers who like started in that paratrooper group and they
Yeah.
made it all the way through. And what
Yeah.
the show keeps talking about is that all these replacement people that came in, had very short lives.
Yes.
Like they'd come in at Denmark, boom, dead. They
Yeah.
come in at these other spots along the way
Yeah.
in France, boom, dead. Belgium, boom, dead. But this small group made it all the way through. And one of the things that they talk about is the way that they coped with like running up hills after half their mates just got killed the other day, is that they already pictured that they were dead. Like thinking that you were
Yeah.
going to make it back home and see your loved ones again,
Blasphemous, yeah.
that was like a dead weight. And
Yeah.
like it's a theme in a lot of these movies where they're like, hey, you might as well just already figure that you're dead and then just calm down and do your job. Because if
Yes.
you thinking about your loved ones, making it home, how you're going to survive, how you're not going to get shot, then you get shot in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's a
That
theme, right?
distraction. Yeah, absolutely.
So let's take a page from that book and go the way some of these soldiers, and again, my reference
Yeah.
is soldiers.
Okay,
and
we're
think
front
war
lines.
movies. Okay,
Okay.
hear me out.
I'm in the trenches. Here we go.
The way that those people survive is by already knowing or thinking about their fate is that they're gonna catch it.
Yeah.
Maybe the way that dentists survive
Uh-huh.
is by thinking one of these is going to happen. Like, what's the point of waking up Monday morning going, oh my God, I hope there's no equipment problem. I hope there's no staff problem. I hope there's no patient. Just assume
Yeah.
that one of them is going to be happening, not like a glass half full
Yeah.
way, just like this is always happening. So when you're like, cool, it's just, this is life. This is life. This is
Every
the
week.
way an office runs.
Yes.
What? My compressor just broke.
Part of it.
I'm not going to
Okay.
freak out about it because it's
Nope.
like, yeah, okay, well, we expected that to happen. You're not, I think the dread of
Mm-hmm.
what's going to happen
Yep.
is worse than the happen.
Then the happen. Yeah. And then subsequent to that, just being like, okay, it's going to happen and we're going to get through it. Just
You're gonna
like
get through it.
every other time before. It happens all the time. We're constantly in this. So why are we stressing? I agree. I 100%
Right?
agree.
Let's
with you.
call that theme like, it's the inevitable.
Yep.
There's no way-
Unavoidable.
Like right
Entirely.
now, it's Saturday night. We're filming here in Las Vegas for the
Yes.
episode tomorrow night, Sunday night. Like, are you dreading anything about Monday work?
No, because I'm currently just like mind is on this. But when I'm flying home on Sunday, absolutely. I'm thinking about both of my office managers from the 2 practices. I'm thinking about how that's going to pan out when I have my 2 most valuable, employees not there
Yeah.
potentially. So yeah,
I think we can learn something from those war movies and just be, hey, you want a solution for
Yeah.
the triple threat? Just realize that it is inevitable.
yeah. Oh, I like the fate word. I like that. That this
Tell me
is
about
just
that.
well. I mean, let's think about what that means. Is that whatever is happening in our lives, that there is some predetermined course
Ooh.
towards our successes, failures, the ultimate outcomes. It's just already been, it's predetermined.
It's
just
inevitable.
there.
In a dental office, those 3 problems are inevitable.
They are.
Okay, here's
I
what our
agree.
audience needs to think about.
Okay.
Is there any amount of customer service patient relationship that
Yeah.
is going to prevent a patient from getting angry or saying something passive aggressive or being rude?
No, you cannot control what's going on in their lives or where they're coming from because I think more times than not, it has nothing to do with what is actually happening in the dental realm. It's something that you have absolutely no idea about that is seated in them, and they're not coming to the table with a full deck, and they're not pissed at you. They're just pissed at life, and you
They're
happen
taking
to
it out
be
on you.
exactly. So absolutely. How
So
can you
there's
control
no,
that?
so stressing about, hey, a patient's going to be angry, going to leave a bad review, a little bit crazy because there is no amount of Disney/Nordstrom/ top customer service that's going to prevent it.
Agreed.
People are coming in with their own preconceived notions. They're upset about life and they're like, I'm going to show this person who's boss.
Yep.
So there's nothing to do. So stressing about it. Now I'm not, okay, let's say 100 patient 1-star reviews on Google.
Yeah.
Let's break down percentage wise.
Yeah.
How much are caused by our staff just not being customer service perfect? I would say like maybe 20.
Okay. Fair.
20. How much is caused by our dentistry? Just dentistry is not predictable. It's just like bacteria is invisible. Like
Yeah.
sometimes things hurt
the
even though they shouldn't.
the mouth is a treacherous environment. It's amazing where we have to go.
So
for
how
this
much?
every day.
What percentage?
I don't know
I'm
what
I
that
got a
is.
feeling I'm still in.
Cost, I think, is more cost. Cost is a higher one, and things are the way that people are charged. I think people get real antsy about that.
But how much of that is really our fault / a person just unloading?
It's a
Despite
person
the fact that we told you. So we say about 80% of these Google reviews are
Yeah.
unavoidable.
Agreed.
Unavoidable.
Yeah, I absolutely.
So stop fighting.
100%.
Stop fighting
Accept
it.
it. Let's just
It will
embrace it.
happen.
I feel empowered right now. Screw Monday morning. I'm ready for it.
Is there any amount of HR
Uh-huh.
/ hiring skills / the C word?
Oh,
For those who don't know in our listening
Too
audience,
soon.
the dirty word,
The dirty C
word, is the word, I don't want to say it.
Culture. We won't even say it.
Culture.
Yeah, dirty.
Culture. That's the dirty word on this set.
Yeah, we're not.
Dirty.
And we've
We'll have a
struck
whole
a chord.
episode about it, I
We
think.
will, because we have struck a nerve.
We have struck a nerve.
As it turns
A
out.
lot of comments about culture
Okay.
from our first
It's
episode.
okay. I think, yeah.
Anyway,
We'll
is there
explain
any
that.
amount of hiring, culture, or HR that is going to prevent staffing issues, people resigning, things not covered?
Based on what we hear anecdotally from friends, and we have friends from all walks of life and all sorts of training and whatnot.
You had 3 things happen this week.
3 things, but then like within the 3 things and the equipment, that was like 7 things that happened in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and even if we had like a mechanic fix-it guy on staff, we have a great IT company.
Which I'm suspicious because their whole job is predicated that we have issues.
Yeah.
So I always feel like they kind of leave like a little bit of something out. I don't want to get conspiracy
There's
theory,
a-
but the
you're saying
older
there's
I get,
Are you saying there's a conspiracy on dental equipment fix-it guys?
I'm saying that I'm not convinced that there isn't one. Which is, I mean, it keeps them in business. If everything worked tickety-boo and like lasted as long as like the rest of things last in life, I'm not needing to spend nearly as much money. I hope they're not watching. And I don't have my usual guy anymore. I
Are
don't
you
care.
saying like, because our dental equipment guy doesn't seem so sophisticated. You think he's part of like an underground network of equipment fixer
think
guys?
they understand the
And
assignment.
they're all talking to each other and they're like, fix it
if
only
this,
80%?
things work, they don't have a job, man.
Or do you
Things
feel
need to
like-
not work.
How do they fix it but only fix it for a little while? Are they fixing with like duct tape? And then it just like pulls
The
apart?
equivalents. Yeah. Or we think it's working and it's really not. I don't know, man. I've got a few ideas running through my head, but
So-
I gotta figure them out a little bit better. We'll work through it. We'll return.
So there's nothing, like we're both in agreement, and hopefully
Yeah.
our listeners are. There is no amount of hiring specialists. You can have a department of human resources with a handbook.
Yes.
Oh my God, we're gonna have an episode about handbooks, employee handbooks. Do you have an employee handbook?
We do.
Does anybody read it?
We had
No.
one employee. No, we did. We did, and it was a hygienist.
Oh.
I didn't see that coming. And she was a recent hire, and she read that whole thing. And I was very proud. It doesn't actually end up applying.
Helping anybody.
It doesn't help anybody.
It doesn't help anybody.
I don't know.
I don't know any hygienist v dentist court battles, and somebody said, I present the handbook as evidence, and slammed it on the table in a Law and Order type episode. It just makes
I'm with
everyone
you.
angry, pretty much. It doesn't really do anything. I've never heard of an employee handbook being used in a court of law as evidence one way or the other, but we digress.
We've
Anyway.
referenced it a time or two with respect to like holidays and stuff. When people started like stepping outside, we're like, it was here in the handbook. How'd you read it?
And then what?
And then they still end up getting the time off because
Thank
they
you.
they have us by our balls. I know. Our proverbial balls for me. Yours.
Thank you. There's no amount of HR customer service handbook that's going to save you from an admin problem. There's no amount of on-site, top-of-the-line IT paying $1,000 a month for IT specialists that's going to save you. And there's no amount of customer service, treat everybody right, do customers always right,
Yes.
call them before the appointment, call them after the appointment, greet them with a smile, always try and find, that's going to save you from a bad Google review. The
I'm in agreement.
solution to the triple threat is to open your mind and understand shit gonna happen.
Yeah, let's get religious about this. There's a divine plan for your misery.
You chose
should
this.
just-
You chose
you
this
chose
profession
dentistry?
poorly.
You, it's
You
not
chose
that
the
bad.
wrong profession.
Yeah.
And with this profession comes the triple threat. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I don't have my accountant friend sent me a text after listening to last week's episode and said, none of that happens to us. We
Yeah.
never have a computer that goes down.
Yeah.
We don't have admin problems, and I don't have angry clients every week. He goes, once in a while we have an angry person or we work through it, but I do not feel like a mediocre accountant.
Welcome to dentistry. Yeah.
What do we do? Well, I think the first thing that we have to do to deal with the triple threat solution, my first solution, you got to listen to this podcast. I think just hearing this podcast, here's my vision. My vision is that there is a dentist in Minnesota that we don't even know maybe,
Yeah.
and it's Sunday night and she getting ready for work.
Yeah.
And her routine Sunday night after the kids go to sleep is she gets on the treadmill in the basement and runs.
Yeah.
And she's put the kids to sleep, bath time's done, lunches are done. She's on the treadmill running. She's hearing this episode. She's giggling that
Yes.
none of your office managers have cars.
I'm okay with her feeling a little bit okay by that because I do that all the time. I feel bad about it. So I'm like taking a little bit of solace or happiness or calmness in hearing that other people are having similar issues. But I don't know. I guess this is kind of like becoming like, or could be like dentistry AA
Yeah.
or like
yeah.
DA,
But it's just you and me.
Dentistry Anonymous.
Maybe if you have a
No,
story, share your story with us.
It's a social support thing.
I
no?
think-
I think this is, or commiseration.
Write us your triple threat story,
Yeah.
themediocredentist@gmail.com, or just comment on this post here and just say, yeah, listening to this podcast makes me feel just a little bit better.
That's the whole point of this exercise. Yeah.
I'm going to throw a phrase at you.
Okay.
So we have phrases today. First phrase
Okay.
was like, you're already dead, so don't worry about climbing up that hill
Yeah.
here in Normandy.
Yeah.
Number 2, misery loves company.
I like this one.
Tell me
Well,
what that means to
I
you.
think that's what we were just talking on
Yes.
a little bit. Because I feel bad about it. But when I hear about someone else having these issues, I guess I feel a little bit more normal, but I also feel a little bit good that I'm not the only one out there that's suffering through these things.
Right. Like if we're all miserable, we
Yeah.
might as well be in like a room together going, yeah, this sucks.
That's hard. And yeah, accountants aren't having to deal with it. And there's a number of other professions that don't have to deal with nearly the number of
So do you
stressful
think-
events that we do.
Do you think there's somebody out there who heard
Yeah.
that your office, like one had a car accident on Thursday, the other one on Friday's underwater. So we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but it's possible that neither of our office managers can come to work
Yeah.
on Monday.
Yeah.
Do you think somebody listens to it and they go, oh, that's bad,
yeah.
but I feel a little better.
Yeah.
Because
And
my office manager just went on vacation for 2 weeks, or blah, 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 or this happened to me, or that happened to me.
Or just gave notice or
Misery
whatever.
loves
Yeah.
company.
No, they do. They do. I do. You do. We all do. And I think that that is okay.
I think from now on, if we're gonna grow as a family through this podcast, what we need to do is when the triple threat hits, I need you to giggle.
And not
Giggle.
just that. Okay.
I need you to
did-
giggle like a
Okay.
psychopath. I need you to giggle like your whole office is looking at you going, Doc has lost it. I want you to video it. I want your hygienist of 20 years to come in and go, I've decided to give 2 weeks notice,
Yeah.
retroactively 2 weeks. So I'm leaving today. I'm not covering any patients tomorrow because I found an office that's 1 millimeter closer to my house. And then I want you to turn on your camera and go, hi, it's Dr. So-and-so. My hygienist just gave notice. I just want you to start giggling like the Joker,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the crazy man.
Absolutely. Yeah. Psychopath. Or I can provide one other, like, I guess, words of wisdom, not words of wisdom, but something to do. And that's what we did that Monday. Because it wasn't just everything falling apart around us. Our patient was also having a bit of a day. She's lovely, long-standing. And we all decided that listening to Dirty Dancing, the entire album, and just cranking it, like unreasonably high. And we were singing and we were rocking out. And it was a long appointment. We finished 40 minutes early. And we were in amazing spirits. And everything was crumbling around us. But we had Patrick Swayze in our mind.
So we got solution number 1 is just to know that this is inevitable and it's happening.
Yes.
Number 2, watch this podcast, giggle. Number 3, take a video of yourself as it's going down,
Yep.
giggling, possibly crying, laughing. Send it, because when your equipment started going down, what is the
did.
first thing you did?
I grabbed my phone.
To
And I
send it
never
to
think to
me-
do that, but I was like, as if this is happening. But it felt good. It was therapeutic.
After you sent me the video, did you
You
feel
were
a little
done.
better?
I did, and you were laughing hysterically, and I was like, it's not that bad. It's what's happening
If we
right
giggle
now.
about it,
Yep.
it's not that bad. Okay, I want to tell you about a story. One of the best movies, you know I like movies. One of my favorite movies from like, I want to say, I don't know when it played, but it got to be a
Okay.
while back.
Yeah.
Sean, when did The Money Pit, let's look that up. When did The Money Pit with Tom Hanks? Was it Tom Hanks?
I did not see
Paul
the movie.
Reiser, maybe?
I'm so sorry. I'm not going to be of much
Pit.
help.
The Money Pit is a movie
Yeah.
about this newlywed husband and wife, and they buy this house, this incredible mansion.
Oh, 98.
98?
Sorry, 86.
86,
86.
1986.
Ooh.
Okay, you were 5 years old. I was already
Yeah.
20. I'm kidding. I wasn't 20.
I wasn't born.
Sean wasn't born.
Ooh.
Sean, it wasn't in
Aw.
black and white, all right? Wipe that smug look off your face, okay? It was a color movie that I saw with my grandmother, who's a movie buff. Bibiati, still alive, 101 years old in Miami. And she took me to this movie.
Good genes.
In 86, I must have been, I guess I was 8 years old.
Okay.
I was 8 years old, you were 5.
Uh-huh.
Okay, they buy this house, and everything starts breaking.
Okay.
I'm talking like floors, walls, windows, beehive. Everybody should watch that movie. Like, as the show goes on, they start getting upset at the beginning, but after a while, like, they start cracking up. There's one scene
Yeah.
where they fill up the tub and like they get into a tub and the tub falls through the ceiling, cracks, and they just start laughing so hard. I wish we could show clips on this podcast without getting sued because we didn't get any rights. If we could, we would show it to you. It's
Okay.
the best medicine. Laughter is the best medicine. So when stuff happens, I want you to giggle.
Okay.
Write a comment in.
Not a bad idea,
If
David.
you can we commit?
Yeah.
If you send us a video of you giggling as one of the triple threats just happened, we'll play it on air. We'll put it on our next podcast.
Done. Don't have to ask me twice.
All right. I want to talk about one more solution.
Okay.
I saw this quote and it really hit me a lot. Life is chaos,
Okay.
and then you die.
Yeah. Pretty
What does
much
that mean
sums
to
it
you?
up. Yeah, I mean, I think at the time when you're in it, you're like, this is so hard, this is so bad, this is so whatever. But then in the end, I mean, you die, and on your deathbed, you're probably looking back and being like, yeah, that was actually one hell of a ride, though. And I'd do anything to like get back into that chaos because next up is death.
Yeah, like that's it. Like,
Yeah.
like what? Like everybody thinks that life is the hygienist giving notice and the air water suction leaking.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the life.
Series of obstacles.
Like
and problems,
that's all it is. Like that's
Yeah.
all we have, and then you're just gonna die, and then there's nothing.
Yeah.
So you might as well enjoy. Okay, here's what I want to picture.
Okay, let's do it.
One day, our children are going to put us in a nursing home.
No.
Despite all the money that we're leaving them, they are going to put us in a nursing home.
I don't love this.
That's what happens.
You know what? I already have a game plan though. With my main girls, we have an exit strategy.
What is the exit strategy?
Well,
Why am
we're
I not
gonna,
a part of it? What main girls? Main
I don't
girls like
know.
your daughter?
No, I don't plan to be on a nursing home at the same time as my daughter. That'd be weird.
What, you have a plan with the main girls, you said. What does that mean?
I have just that I guess I didn't really think about this before I started going down this line of reasoning, but typically women outlive men.
Okay.
So I had a plan with them because in theory, according to statistics, especially in Canada, I think like there's like at least a 4-year split. I think the like mean life expectancy for men is like 79 and it's like 84 for women.
Okay.
So we have a plan so that we're not going to be alone and we can still be
like I'm dead?
like you're dead. You're gone. I'm sorry. That's typically how it goes. It's just what the statistics are. I didn't make the rules.
I'm
Don't hate
planning
the
a
player,
retirement life for you on me together, and you're planning he's gonna die. I'm gonna be with my girls.
I have various plans.
You
My
have
plans
a
have
plan
plans.
of life after I die.
I
was planning.
I have contingencies.
I said we are going to be in a nursing home, And
by our
I was
kids.
about to go like how we're gonna be, and you're like, I didn't think that life was gonna be with you. I plan to snuff you out at 79, and then it's me and the girls till 84.
I'm not snuffing
what the
you out.
actual fuck?
No, I'm not snuffing you. You just might actually perish. That's just what the stats
Because I
show.
fell down a staircase.
From no,
What? How do you know that I'm dying first?
I don't. I could go.
Why are you planning a life without me?
I'm just planning a fun life with my old ladies before we're fully like demented and senile. We've got ideas.
What?
We've got
Who
like
thinks like that? What
Women.
kind of crazy person thinks like that?
women. We're different. We got different.
I'm planning a
I'm
life
not-
that has money
You know I
and
don't-
trips and a life for us and what we're going to look like at
I
65,
totally have
70.
that. I
and
have
you're
that
like,
plan too.
Yeah, well, that's the boring part. What I'm really
That-
jazzed about is me and the girls after you die, because that shit's going to be off the hook.
It's not going to be off the
What?
hook. We're like going to be like an imminent like hip break is like on the table. It's not going to be like all rainbows and sunshine at 84 through however long we go.
Wait, I thought it was till 84.
No,
You said I
84.
go at 79 and you go at 84.
That's in
How-
Canada. I regret to inform
I'm
you.
gone at 79. How long
Listen.
are you going with the girls?
Listen, Americans live a little bit less than Canadians. So I didn't want to tell you that part too, but you're also American and I'm also Canadian and we live longer than you. Don't want to brag, don't want to flex, don't know if that changes if we become the 51st state. But for right now, a Canadian woman is where it is at
How much is a Canadian woman supposed to live?
till 83.9, 84.
Okay, how much is an American man supposed to live?
Your national average is 76.
Okay, so 76 to 84. Okay, that's 7 years.
That's almost a 10-year split, dude.
How you?
I have to have plans. I don't like being alone. So
I just it's I are there any men in this plan?
no, just women. April, you know April.
Of course I know April.
Yeah.
Does Riaz know that he and I are on the chopping block?
I think he
Like,
understands.
what happens if I don't die in time? Are you guys gonna be pissed because I'm infringing on your girl time?
No, I think that'll be lovely if we're all there together.
Yeah,
that would
what
be
if-
that's the
what
best
if
case
April sees
scenario.
me and I'm like 81 and she'd be like, "Happy birthday, 81."
Yeah, I know.
Like she's not gonna be happy for me when I'm 81.
No.
What every
That's gonna be our time to. Yeah, I understand.
So of all our friends, now I have to be thinking when I look at the women's faces of all the couple friends we have, that all the women faces are looking at me like, "Happy 48th birthday, David."
gonna get
like,
weird at
only
75.
30 more years for
I
the
know,
sucker.
I know.
That is you and me, Andrea. What the? That is some demented thinking.
I'm just being. Honesty is a thing, and I just wanted to be honest that I have plans in the event that something should happen to you, and I'm sorry that made you feel less than or mediocre.
The inequality. If I had said to you
Yeah.
that the boys and I have plans after you perish,
Yeah.
what would happen?
It depends on who the boy is. Like if it's
The
if it's
boys.
Riaz,
No, okay, let's not name names here. I just said me and the boys
have
plans after you perish.
I'd imagine that you guys would.
And you'd be okay with that.
No, I'm absolutely gonna haunt the shit out of you. You're done. Yeah. It's just conversation pieces with my girlfriends.
We are getting so far
off
off
track.
here.
Okay,
There's
so back-
nothing in
how
these.
are we solving?
There's nothing
What
in
was
these
it? I
6
know.
pages that said anything
understand.
about me dying and you having a party
Well, what
town with the
what
girls.
was even the point of you saying
Life
any of that?
is chaos.
Oh, life is
and
chaos.
Then
And then
you
you
die.
die.
And the point. This is so.
So
The point was
What's the
supposed to be that
the
when
point is lost. The point is gone. There's no recovery possible.
our viewers deserve.
Are witnessing a domestic at this point. This has nothing to do with our practices.
Yeah, it's hard to hear that you have a life planned without me. I'm sorry.
Move on. Let's go. Next point. Did you want to
There will be a time where a short time from 72
Oh,
to 76 when we are in a nursing home together before I die. Okay?
when are you retiring?
I
We're
think
gonna
my
have a lot of good years together.
Okay. Can we focus here? There will be a time with or without me where you will be in a nursing home.
Okay.
True or not true? Your grandmother's in a nursing home.
Yeah.
My grandmother lives in an apartment with 3 aides that come in. She's 101 and your grandmother is?
92.
Okay, my grandmother's 101.
93.
God bless her soul. But I gotta be honest, last 7 years, not her best years. She still has her mind-ish
Yep.
a little bit, but feeding herself, going to the bathroom, making it around the apartment,
Yeah.
not as easy as life could be.
No.
Your grandmother's life in the nursing home.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she loves that at all, and she lost her partner, and you know, that's hard to bounce back with. They were married an incredible 6 decades.
Okay, so you
plus.
go to these nursing homes. We've gone to visit your grandmother. We have been to Miami apartment buildings filled with old people that are on walkers,
Yes.
air tanks, and everything.
Yes.
And you walk around, and
Yes.
even in your standard nursing home /
Yeah.
your hospital intensive care ward,
Uh-huh.
where all these people are kind of like in their last years, let's
Yes.
just say. And you look at them, and there's a depression and sadness there. They bring children from elementary schools to kind of cheer these people up.
Yes.
But your standard nursing home lunchroom, everybody wheeled over, sitting at a table, eating their food.
Yep. Day in, day out. Just
Not the
same
happiest
kind
place
of-
on earth.
No.
Just kind of waiting it
There's
out.
shutdowns. Like my granny just got out of one of those where like someone brings in some sort of illness and you know they're not even allowed to leave the rooms. It becomes like a proper prison.
If they
and-
like quarantine.
Yeah.
So I'm saying the life in that nursing home, could we just agree
That's not where.
whenever
it's
you
at.
get put in there, whether you're 75 or 85, like eventually your family puts you in there because it's too much to handle.
Yes.
It's not a happy life in there.
No.
If you would walk over at any one of those people and
Yeah.
you'd be like, take this blue pill
Yes.
and I will beam you back.
And you're
You will get all, you'll have
43,
all your
all the
strength.
yeah.
You'll have your strength. You'll
Yeah.
have your mind.
Yes.
You'll have your ability to drive a car.
Yeah.
You'll have all your abilities, but you'll be in a dental office and there's a flood
Yeah.
and someone just gave notice and you have a bad review. Take the deal or leave it.
100% you're taking the deal. That's beautifully put. That was a very good, yeah, that landed hard on me. Yeah.
Like we stress about this stuff now, but if you had some vision
Yes.
for the future, you'd be like, one day I will miss this.
One day I would give
one
anything
day
to
when
be
I'm,
back at this.
One day
Yes.
when I'm in a bathroom with an aide on the other side of the door asking if they can come in so they can clean me and get me back into my wheelchair, to get me back into my bed,
Yeah.
to be next to Riaz, because you clearly don't want to be with me at that point. Like, I'm going to sit on that toilet and go like, I wish my handpiece wasn't working. I wish my
wish that was
handpiece
my
not
biggest
working.
problem.
I
Yeah.
wish my handpiece not working.
Yeah.
And a Google review for a patient who misconstrued how much insurance was supposed to pay and is taking it on us. I wish that was my biggest problem.
Yeah.
My biggest
hit the
problem
nail on
is
the head.
doctor coming in tomorrow to take a scan of looking for blah 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 / my blood pressure feels like it's racing / how many more years do I even have left / how many do I even want left?
Yeah.
Because I'm in constant pain.
Well done, David. That is exactly it.
Like there's nobody's living
I-
forever, right? No one's living forever.
This is making me
If
re-
you're lucky,
Yeah.
you don't die of an accident / cancer / drop dead of something of a widowmaker, and you make it to the 70s, 80s, 90s, where you then get put into a home. That's
Yeah.
if you're lucky.
That's
if you're
lucky.
unlucky,
Oh, I know.
you die to the widowmaker, the cancer, the hit by a truck, whatever. If
Yes.
you're lucky, you make it to the 70, 80, 90, and then you spend those last years just wishing you were back
Back in
right
the throes of it.
where
Yeah, the good, the
we are
bad, the
now.
ugly. Yeah. Mic drop. Well done.
Triple threat solution, folks. Yeah, you want a triple threat solution? I'll give you a triple threat solution. Is A, this is inevitable. Let's call it fate. I don't know why, I don't know how, but these 3 things infect every dentist.
It is written in the stars.
It is written in the stars. You chose the wrong profession. This profession has 3 problems every single day. And I dare you to find me a day where one of those 3 things is not on your mind. 2, misery loves company. So, just listen to this podcast, send it to friends. We're not actually selling anything on those podcasts.
Yep.
Number 3, like one day you're going to miss this. One day you're going to miss being in charge of a staff. One day you're going to miss having your own private office and having patients coming to you to pay you money for your skills. So might as well just enjoy it. We call this segment, Let's Be Real. I shall start us off. Let's be real. There's no escaping the triple threat.
Let's be real. Once we get that promo code for our listeners for the therapist sponsorship, we're going to be the first ones that need to use that.
Let's be real. We have no office manager's way to get to work on Monday.
True. I hope they're okay though. Let's be real. I feel like a little bit of a dick for taking like solace in other people's like misery in their dental practices.
Let's be real. Famous quote from 17th century English literature: misery loves company and sorrow seeks society.
Ooh, getting deep on us. I like that. Let's be real. Feeling pretty good about being Canadian right now. Get to live longer.
Because of the longer life thing?
Yeah.
Let's be real. I really think people are going to watch this podcast and have better lives. It might be narcissistic in me. It might be egomaniac. I really think you and I are going to, let's be real, this podcast is going to make a difference in the dental world.
Let's be real. I 100% agree with you. And I often lead with no with you, but this is a time when you're right, David. It's giving me different ideas about who I might want to be in the old age home with.
Let's be real. You still fantasize about being with the women in the old age home without me slowing you down.
Let's be real. Your early perishing is literally just the beginning of the plans. Like my plans have plans. And we're just scratching the surface.
Let's be real. I'm going to sleep with one eye open from now on.
Let's be real. That's not a bad idea for you.
All right, well, it's time to recap this episode. It's our first episode really talking about solutions. We've been pretty down till now, but triple threat solution. A, at any one point of your job, life, career, day, you either have an equipment problem, staff problem, or a patient who is upset / you're nervous about. The inevitability of that, knowing that is always going to happen coming from two veteran dentists should make you calmer. Similar to those running up a hill in Normandy, just knowing it's inevitable that I'm gonna die, and that just made them do their job better and with more happiness. If it happens, it happens. Number 2, misery loves company. If you have one of these things happen to you, please just giggle. Giggle like you're a psycho, like this office is gonna call the police. Just giggle, giggle, giggle. If you could film it, we will show it. You will make everyone's day. Imagine if we can get 20 videos of people videoing themselves giggling when something went wrong. That would increase everyone else's happiness a lot. And I think it's therapeutic. True. Number 3, life is chaos and then you die. One day, you're just gonna miss all this. I know it seems bad now, but this is just how it is. Might as well just embrace it. One day, you'll miss all of it. Thanks, everyone. I hope this episode makes you feel better.
The mediocre dentist, the mediocre dentist. 'Cause sometimes you just feel mediocre. The mediocre dentist, the mediocre dentist. I am mediocre, you are mediocre, and that's not that bad.